Hello, everybody. Thank you for listening to us blaired out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and if you want to watch us and not just listen to us, follow and subscribe on our YouTube.
Yeah.
David, what are you doing right now? A bunch of shenanigans?
So I was like prepping for our sponsor and anyways.
You ruined the ball.
Ball is great. Just half of your information, Thaddeus, needs a little fixing. But on that note, Thaddeus, thank you so much. Our episode today is being sponsored by Thaddeus Jones here at State Farm. So make sure to give him a call for all your insurance needs.
Absolutely.
All right. And today...
Well, David's being distracted by his balls. We are going to go ahead and we have another guest on, and we are so excited. Yes. Jennifer Turner Jones, who has created this amazing nonprofit, the Southern Arizona Book Heroes, which I've been hearing more. Everyone tagged you, by the way, in my post that said, hey, we're looking for nonprofits to interview. And I think you were tagged 5 different times. Yeah. So, wow. Yes. So very exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on.
Something great.
Thank you.
So tell us how this began.
So I started in 2019, and at first it was just like a thought, just a vision that I had about helping first responders and children in traumatic experiences and everything like that. And about 2 years ago, I came to the realization, oh my gosh, I personally was that child. Mm-hmm. So when I was 13 years old, I personally was abused, physically, sexually, emotionally, verbally, you name it. It was me. I was taken away from my family and was put into a shelter with nothing but the clothes that I was wearing that day. And there was a bookshelf there, and I would just hide in the corner and read. And I would wish that I was that character in the book, because I didn't want to live in my reality, in what I was living. And so now I try to share that Southern Arizona Book Heroes is so much more than just a book.
Yeah.
It's about courage and hope. And
escape, too, from your situation. Mm-hmm.
So that's what we try to focus on. And that's what we try to tell other people, that Southern Arizona Book Heroes is more than just literacy and books and helping children.
Oh. So. And so when I was reading on your website, you put books into with the EMT's hands, the police hands, the fire.
So we put a duffel bag with approximately 30 to 50 children's books, ranging from 0 to 16 years of age. So you can have small little board books up to chapter books. We do coloring books. We just started doing, I call it a bundle of warmth, because somebody might be sleeping on the bench at a bus stop. And not right now because it's 150,000 degrees, but it's also something else that we're trying to focus on, and bundles of hope. And we are in Marana and Oro Valley Police, Tucson Police. We're all the way up in Prescott Valley, all the way to Nogales Police. Wow. And we are about to go into our 22nd department, which will be Maricopa Sheriff.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yes. And I never thought in a million years that we would expand outside of our little town here of Tucson. Yeah. And
one part of it is sad because it's so needed.
Right.
But what a story that you were that child. And instead of just kind of being like, yeah, I went through it and it was traumatic, and then nothing coming from it, you've created this entire nonprofit from that little girl.
Yes. The 13-year-old who was afraid to like talk and have any kind of voice. I wasn't allowed to listen to anything but country or Christian music. So, like the movie Footloose and the dancing and how it was sinful. That was music in my life. And so to experience all of that and then to create Southern Arizona Book Heroes, it's been very overwhelming. And I have learned that I am not the victim. This was not my fault. I did not ask for this to happen to me. And with our mission and everything, I really hope that it helps others be a voice that they feel that they cannot be.
Yeah.
Because everybody should have a voice.
Well, I mean, from what I'm hearing, you were in this family, and it was the family you were born into.
Yes.
And how old were you when you were first taken away?
So I was molested when I was 7.
I'm so sorry.
By an individual. And then from either 10 or 11, that part is still foggy, until 13 when I was taken away. And then I was date raped when I was 21. And so abuse has like just followed me. And it's not okay.
No, it's not.
And so I'm putting awareness out there that it's not okay. And you don't have to keep your mouth shut and be like a gag order or whatnot. And it's really sad how many kids out there are being abused one way or another. And if I can just help that one child through Southern Arizona Book Heroes, I feel like we've done our job.
Is there anything we can look for when anything that's happening with kids that we could keep an eye out to
So
help?
I personally do not hear any of the stories or anything because we are going through the first responders.
Okay.
And I don't get feedback or anything, which I'm okay with. So I honestly cannot answer that. Because we try to do it through the first responders, and we're trying to break the negativity and build that bridge between the community and first responders and children, because unfortunately there's a lot of negativity towards first responders when they're just trying to do their job. And
that's scary. And there has been so many negative feedback, but they try to do their absolute best. And it sounds like you are helping them because what a scary thing for a child to go through. Even though you're being abused, you're getting ripped out and to the unknown. It's scary.
Yes, it is.
So to have that safety of something that tangible in your hand that you're able to open up and escape.
Yes.
It's just wonderful.
And we also do like stuffed animals. If we get like a donation of them, we might put like the cards like Old Maid or Crazy Eights or something in there if we get a donation of them. We've even given Lego sets if we get a donation of that. So we try to put extra love in the bags, so to speak. But our main focus is the books and literacy books. I feel like it's a lost art, so to speak, because people are so involved with their phones and laptops and computers and iPads and everything like that. I don't know about the two of you, but I personally just love holding a book.
I have to have it in my hands. I've tried on my phone. My eyes get so blurry. And
just
then
to feel it.
You got to feel it. And I like to smell it. Open the book and smell it.
Yes. Yep. And so when we do the book sorting, because we try to be very, very neutralized. We don't have anything that is family related because you don't know the family dynamic. We do not have anything that is religious because you don't know that. Nothing about I love you, baby. Or are you my mother? Nothing like that. nothing political. We try to just keep it as neutral can possibly be. And
because you don't know what a trigger is going to be for one of these
Yep.
kiddos.
So it's very... So when we're doing the book sorting, you'll come across a book and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember that book growing up, like Goodnight Moon. Or there's other books like, why wasn't this around when I was little and everything? So it's also very nostalgic and it brings up positive memories and such. So books are important, I think. And it's just, I feel like it's lost in the world of children nowadays.
It really is, because there's it was just talking about this, and I've really been craving reading a book. I'm a reader. So if I can have a moment to break away from reality, I'm going to read. It's just what I love to do. And so lately I've been reading on my phone. I hate it.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. So I bought that same book that I had on my phone. It's on Amazon because I just had to have it in my hands. Yeah. Being on a plane, I have to have it in my hands because there's something about the feel, the texture, the smell that just helps you really escape and turn the page. What's going to happen next? And then turn the page. And not having to like make it where you lift it and so you can see. Yeah. But that's exciting. So where do you see this growing to? What's your, just everywhere? Or?
Oh, my land. Well, I mean, to be completely honest, I didn't even expect it to grow to where it has. To be outside of Tucson, up north, to the south, to the west, to the east. You know, I never expected it. And there's actually a local or a children's author who lives in Utah. Her husband's a first responder.
Oh, wow.
She has asked me to send her a bag so her husband can get a feel of the program and
see, maybe expand.
Now we may be going to Utah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel like this needs to be everywhere. I can't believe it's not.
Well,
because I just slapped myself with my
state, I'm like,
so I do have children's authors that reach out to me and they're like, we heard about your program. We want to donate books.
Oh. Yeah. Where do we donate these books to?
Yeah. So we do have an Amazon wish list that you can order online. People can deliver books to Sora Trophy, 2616 East Broadway.
Okay.
Or just call me and I can have one of my board members, volunteers, or myself pick them up or whatnot. There's also Barnes and Nobles we partner up with once a year.
Oh, great. Well, it sounds amazing. Yeah. I mean, you're growing.
We
crazy.
Are part of this online called First Book, where we can get books at an extremely good discount. So and then like I said, local authors will be like, hey, I heard about your program. Here's 20 books. Here's 100 books. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Just the fact that I have local authors reaching out and even from Utah and other states.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So
you're doing something.
I love that. So fun.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I wake up and I'm just like, this is what I was meant to do. And
I mean, it happened so quick because you said you started in 2019?
Yep.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yep. We just passed our 4
years. That's a great outreach.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So it's just insanity. So I don't know what to expect in the next 2 years, next year, because like I said, I never expected it to grow like it has.
World
in the
domination.
4 years.
That's what's going to happen. It's going to be everywhere.
It sounds like it's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Was this just always a thought since everything you've gone through to put books with first responders?
I don't know. It was just like a vision.
Yeah.
And after talking to some officers that I know and a detective. The head homicide detective at that time had gotten me into a meeting with our chief, and they're like, we like it, let's try it. Gave them 20 bags. Next thing I know, somebody from the sheriff's department calls me and is like, hey, so-and-so called me and told me about this, and we want bags. Okay. And I'm on Facebook, and so people will reach out.
Yeah.
Like the highway patrol up in Prescott Valley and Gila Bend, they reached out saying they saw us on Instagram and Facebook and we want to learn more about it. How can we get the bags? And so I don't even reach out to the departments. They're reaching out to me.
That's pretty special right there.
Yeah.
And it's just, there are no words to explain the feeling that it brings. So there's 30 to 50 books, and we gave out 100 bags last year.
Wow.
That's a lot of
That's
books.
what, 3,000 kids that we reached out to?
Yep.
It's sad.
3,000
It's makes me
kids.
sad because it's so many kiddos.
Yep. So, and that's just like the lower end.
Yeah.
If it was a 50 book bag, so we gave out between 3,000 and 5,000 books. And that's a lot of kids. A lot of kids.
Are you seeing this as helping with your healing as well?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I didn't talk about it for the longest time. And it's become my story. It's become the Southern Arizona Book Hero story. We have become the voice that people cannot be.
I mean, you've gone through so much, and it could have really have
Could have gone bad.
bad. It could have, you could not be here.
Yeah. And there were a couple of times that I tried to not be here, and somebody was looking out for me, an angel or somebody, I don't know, but somebody was looking out for me and knew I had a mission. And here I am sitting in front of the two of you sharing that mission.
And thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I think it's
So,
wonderful.
No,
It's
look
wonderful
what
that
you're
people want to help.
doing.
How exactly did all of this unfold? Like, what was the precipice to lead up to this point?
So I have a couple different stories.
Okay.
I was in a car accident with my son, and my vehicle was completely totaled. And I wish I had something to distract him. And I remember growing up that books was always my savior and everything like that. So that's one. And then a few months into starting Southern Arizona Book Heroes, I was on my way to a presentation. So I just so happened to have one of the bags of books in my vehicle. Sorry.
No.
Take your time.
And there was a car accident. And on the side of the sidewalk, there was a child who was crying. And you could just tell that they were sad. So I pull over into a parking lot, and I call one of the officers over. And I told him who I was and what we do and everything like that. And so the officer picked a book out, walked across the street, and handed it to this child. That is the first time and only time that I've seen and got to experience the importance of Southern Arizona Book Heroes. Because like I said, we give them to the police officers. I don't get feedbacks. I don't get stories and everything like that. And so to witness that, it just brought a whole new different, this right here is why
Validated it.
is why we do what we do. So then another officer at the scene comes over to me, and they're like, I noticed the bag of books. I had one in my vehicle. I can't even tell you how amazing it's been. And so just to hear those words was just, it validated everything that we do and why it's important, you know?
She right next to me.
Do you want one?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my
So,
I've been so strong.
and so, like just to watch the interaction between the police officer and the child, then it just, it gives you a whole new different outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was that child. Yeah, I got lost in books, but I'm the one, like, I was my own hero. One of our taglines is be the hero within. It could be the hero and the officer that gives you that book. It could be the hero in the book, or something, or it could be within yourself. It could be you, and you just don't know it. You don't realize it, that you could be your own hero. And I have come to realize, with all the trauma, the rape, and everything like that, I am not a survivor. I'm an overcomer, and I am my own hero.
Preach.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I've been strong, Jen. I've been strong. I haven't cried. And then you come on, and now I'm a mess. So.
I'm like, the fact that you got to see it, I'm like, oh my God, like how healing is that for you? Like to see your hard work actually in action.
Yeah.
Not only did it help this kid, but that little girl inside too. It's like,
Well, she was that child.
She was her. Yeah.
And you don't really get to see them get these books, but to see that one child and know it was, you don't know what's going to happen, but you were a distraction for that moment and a way for the police officer to connect with the child to say, hey, I'm a safe place. Beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That truly means a lot. And
you deserve it. I mean, you deserve every blessing that's coming your way.
I honestly don't think that we would be where we are as a nonprofit if it wasn't for me opening up about my own personal experience, but also the community. The community is such a big portion of this too, and sharing what we do and letting me talk and sharing. So thank you to the community.
Your voice is so important and your story is so important. And I'm such a believer that as hard as what you've gone through, because what you've gone through, nobody should, but that you made that darkness, those demons, you were your own hero that overcame them.
Yep.
put him at bay.
It's beautiful what you're doing, because you said, you go, I'm not a victim. I don't want to be a victim. But then you also said, you aren't to blame for anything either. This happened to you. Yeah. You didn't create this.
No. I didn't ask for it to happen. No. And no child, nobody, even adults, they don't ask to be harmed. They don't ask to be abused and yelled at and beaten. You know, it's just, it's unfortunately the world that we live in. And we all have to be the voice for those that don't.
That can't speak. Because as a child,
I know.
Damn you, Jen.
I'm like, sorry, not that. I mean, it's just,
what mess. I just like cannot. This is supposed to be waterproof mascara. It's not.
You don't realize the power of a book. You don't realize the power of who you can become. So,
what books can you go back to that helped you escape the most?
so I have the Dr. Seuss, all the places you can go or whatnot, that I actually had that book in my office as a reminder with a snow globe with it. The Giving Tree, I love that.
So
It's a
good.
great one.
You can't go wrong with the caterpillar one.
No, oh my
You know?
God.
And like Goodnight Moon.
Yeah. Did you ever read the Boxcar Kids?
Yes,
Oh, I love
and
the
Nancy
Boxcar
Drew.
Kids. Yes.
And so those are some of the books, like when
Yeah.
you're going through and sorting books out and separating them from ones we cannot give to them, then you're like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys,
Hardy
the
Boys,
Box
yes.
Hardy
the
Boys.
Babysitter Club.
Babysitter
Oh, I did love that one too,
So
yeah.
good.
So it's definitely like,
Sweet Valley High.
yes. Yes. And so then I'm like, Austin, which is my son, I'm like, you should read this. He's like, no, Mom, I'm okay. But I just, it's crazy. And books are
So
coming
important.
back.
Yeah. Did
At
they
least
ever?
I hope so.
I feel like they never left. However,
They got lost,
They
pushed
got-
under a
yeah.
rug.
They did. They got hidden under a rug.
And
But
an
there
app.
is nothing more important to me than feeling touching that book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, are your sons, do they get involved in this at all? Do they help out?
So my oldest, she is in Yuma, and when she was living at home, she would help. My 18-year-old, my son, he helps, and we actually just started a junior ambassador program to help
Oh, I love this.
kids help our mission
Yeah.
and everything, because we don't want it just to be focused on trauma and crisis and everything
Yeah.
like that. Unfortunately, that's a big portion, but we are trying to get kids involved with what we do also and bring the positiveness again.
Yeah.
And so we have started a junior ambassador program. We just had our first event, and we put together 435 bundles of hope, which include, or bundles of warmth, which includes a hat, gloves, an emergency blanket, and socks. So it's amazing how many people you see walking that don't have socks.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so if I wanted my child to be involved in this, how would they do that?
How are they joining?
You can email us
Okay.
at southernarizonabookheroes@gmail.com.
Awesome.
You can call. You
Okay.
can look on our Facebook, LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram. There's a lot of
everywhere.
different ways to do it.
Threads.
And then as we grow the Junior Ambassador program, then we'll send out emails. Hey, we have a project coming up. If you guys want to come join us, and then we have a sign up genius, and then they
Yeah.
can sign up for what other
You're fine.
time slot
I've done it twice.
that they want or can do or whatnot. And so like we have an opportunity we're doing an 80s theme skate country
Fun.
fundraiser. And so we're going to have the junior ambassadors promote it and run the raffle and everything like that, because we want our community to see that children are also involved
Yeah.
in spreading the word, that it's not
When is this event?
November 8th
Where at?
Skate Country
Okay.
on 22nd, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m. And we might have some special visitors
Ooh.
joining us.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Love that.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a way to register or?
You just go.
go?
Yep.
Perfect.
So our next fundraiser is the Midnight at the Masquerade, which is a 21 and
sounds
over event. and that is September 23rd.
Fun.
And we have Unsquared Theater, which is another nonprofit.
Yeah.
They're going to play the characters, and you have to guess which one of them it is. I call it Clue and Live.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
Yes.
I love Clue.
Yep. So you have to guess which of them did it. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love
That'll
that.
be so fun.
Yep. And we'll have a silent auction and
Fun.
either a DJ or a band.
And where would that be located?
That one is 6 to 10 at Savoy Opera House on Saturday, September 23rd. 9 weeks away.
That's only 9 weeks. I haven't even registered
come
my kids
so
for
quick.
school. This is going to be a problem. I'm stressing.
But yeah,
9
so
weeks
those
away.
are some of the fun, exciting fundraisers that we have coming up to help us purchase the books for like the age group that we might be shy of. And for the first time since I've started, we normally order like 48 or 96 bags. I sit here proud to say that we ordered 250 bags.
Wow.
So we are going to be able to give even more bags out to each department that we serve. And
wonderful.
will start serving and everything. So it's
a big jump.
It is.
That's
It's
a big jump.
insane.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So when it was time to sit down and figure it out, I was just like, well, we have this money allocated for the bags. It's a lot. It's like, what, triple what we normally get. And so I was like, let's do it. It's hyperventilating, you know, because it's
Well, it's a
huge.
lot. Yeah.
It is. And we've never been able to order that many. And so to go from 48.96 to, whoa, 250, it's like, okay.
Bravo. I mean, what you are doing. This is why I love doing this podcast. I love seeing what you did out of the darkness. It's amazing.
How you were able to shine a light on it.
You really, I mean, what you went through is just so traumatizing, but you didn't let it get you.
Yeah. You rose above it.
I did.
Push
I did
forward.
not allow it to knock me down. I chose to stand up and speak.
What was that moment like when you finally said, I choose me?
So it's kind of ironic. So the abuser, he had his like own rule, more or less, to say that. So the abuse, the physical, I always wore long sleeves to hide the bruises. Makeup was just as bad, sinful as the music, like I said. And so I never had bruises on my face, ever. And nobody would ask, why are you wearing a long sleeve shirt? You know, and so I was able to hide it for a long time. And the pain in my eyes and everything, you know, I'm just tired, or you always have an excuse, always. And nobody caught on. Well, one day I went to school and I had a scratch on my face. And this had been like 3 years into it. And the counselors are like, what happened to your face? And I broke down. And from that moment, she called CPS. CPS came and picked me up. And that was that. I didn't get to say goodbye to anyone. I just more or less fell off the face of the earth. And this was in another city. I wasn't allowed to be at the court case because it was a pretty mindy individual, very well-known individual that did it. And because of who this individual was and I was a minor, so I couldn't testify. It was just, I had to give it to the faith of the people, you know, and it was it was insane, because if it wasn't for that scratch,
You would never.
who knows how much longer I'd be
You would have
getting
had
it
to go
bruised
through it.
and everything. So
And that was probably maybe because whoever the person was probably didn't want to do anything to your face, so you wouldn't. They couldn't get caught.
Yeah.
yep. And so I kind of feel like that cut was my opening to speak and be the voice and be like, you know what? For the last 3 years, this has been my life.
Yeah.
And I don't want it anymore. And that was that.
Were you able to get justice? Did he go, or did they go away?
They did. The ironic part is this individual was put on lifetime probation.
What?
So when he got out of prison, okay, he was put on lifetime probation. Well, because of his age and because he's sick, he was able to get off of lifetime probation. Yes. He no longer has to be assigned as a sexual offender.
What?
Just made me sick.
Yep. So he could be living down the street from me and I would not know.
You don't get any protection of knowing where this individual is?
Nope. And it's been, I want to say about 5 or 6 years.
How
So
do
it is
you
disgusting.
not have that for life?
Yeah. How do you get off lifetime probation?
Yeah.
But because of his age. But obviously, age didn't matter
No.
when he was doing what he was doing to me.
Right.
No.
You know? But I choose not to hide my life in fear. Because he had control over me for too long.
Yeah.
And that control he no longer will have, being on probation or not.
Yeah.
He is not going to have that over me.
Good for you.
Amen. Yeah, absolutely. Good for you.
Makes me want to
I
run
have
him over with my car.
These tattoos.
Oh my God, I just noticed it's a book.
So it's a heartbeat
Can we
with
show that
books.
to the camera? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's a heartbeat with books because my heart beats books. It's my safety, right? And then
Crime ready?
I'm trying not to.
And then over here, I have the word strength because after I shared my story for the first time after running from it, hiding from it,
Yeah.
and breaking that control that he had,
Yeah.
this is a reminder of what I've gone through. And then on my leg, I have butterflies because I am free.
You're free. Yeah.
What?
I'm like, wow.
I'm supposed to be, I don't really cry. I don't. I cry, I get a little teary eyed. You're the crier.
I'm like,
I go to my room and then I ugly cry on my own because I have all these walls up, so it's hard for me. But your story, it hits me on another level.
yeah.
Just what you've overcome and how you've not let the bad cards that you constantly are getting.
Yeah. Play such a big role.
Yeah.
You just
keep changing lives. You keep helping, and you keep being the. Oh God, why am I so emotional? But it's pretty amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
You I mean, you deserve all the praise,
yeah.
girlfriend. You deserve
Thank you.
it. You are.
It's taken me
amazing.
a long time to get to this point because I was shut down, and so to speak, he had the control over me for so long because I didn't talk about my story because I was ashamed because it was my fault when in all reality it wasn't.
No.
And he had brainwashed me so bad that I grew up thinking that everything was my fault. And so once I started sharing my story, that control was no longer in my head, no longer over me. And that is something that I hope to spread awareness to other people and to other kids and everything. There are no words to explain what I hope Southern Arizona Book Heroes does for everyone else, like it has helped me.
It's healing.
Like I said, it's more than just a book.
Yeah.
It's an
More than
escape.
just a book.
I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about the trauma that happens in that moment from going from a place of trauma into this vehicle of no clue where you're going, and just how bad you need a distraction sometimes. And
Because that's huge. It's scary.
it's terrifying.
Especially when you're a kid.
And a child. And sometimes you just need something to grasp, to hold that's tangible,
Yep.
just to have that moment of control back. That's what these books are. These books are a little bit of control in your life that is so chaotic.
Yep.
It's powerful. What you're doing is powerful. What you're doing is amazing. You girl, you deserve all this
Yeah.
praise. I mean, I'm sitting here in awe thinking, I didn't even know. I knew about this. So many people had tagged you. And so
Which I'm extremely thankful and grateful for.
I'm thankful for you.
Thank you.
What you're doing. This is important. You are important. You're so amazing, and you are meant to be here and do all these wonderful things.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry for the trauma that you had to go through, and it was never your fault.
Nope. Nope. No matter what the abuser says
No.
to the child or even the adult or whatever, it is never that person's fault.
No.
And that's what we need to that's what we need to share. Another tagline that I have is, we need to speak up for those that can't.
Yeah.
Aside from being the hero within, we have to speak up for those that can't.
Absolutely.
It's the shame, I
Absolutely.
think. You feel the shame,
Yeah.
and you feel so broken.
vulnerable and-
Yeah. And then you get mad at yourself. You're angry because how did I let it happen? Or why did I not speak up? Or why am I going through this? And how come no one sees?
I was very, I'm going to kind of go religious, and I do apologize. I was very, very angry because I grew up being Catholic, like hardcore Catholic. Went to church every Wednesday and Sunday, and went to a Catholic school and everything like that. So during all of this time, I was extremely angry
Yeah.
at God or higher up or whoever you guys believe in. And because if he loved you so much, then why would he allow this individual to hurt you
Yeah.
the way that he has? And so on top of this journey of spreading the word of trauma and even PTSD awareness and suicide awareness, not just in adults but children, I'm also, on a personal level, trying to find my way back to finding faith. Where that faith is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have the slightest clue,
Yeah.
but it's something that has brought me to where I am.
Yeah. I mean, I read something in the Bible the other day, and it said, it was Jesus talking, and he said, no, you should never call anybody father, because I really am your only father. And I think it so affects us when a male figure or somebody that you trust and love hurts you so bad. And then you look at God and you say, why? How could you do this? How could you let this happen?
Exactly.
And what's sad is that this world can be covered in so much darkness. And the hard part is I think God cried with you every bit of the way. I think he was so sad for you. But what's crazy is that if you didn't go through all these things, this would never have happened. You wouldn't be helping all these kids. And I hate that you were sacrificed like that, and your all these feelings that you went through. But man, What a testimony.
Yeah.
It's
So during this journey of sharing and everything like that, and healing for what I went through, it's something strong.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's
Yeah.
something strong.
And I think you should constantly having that conversation so you can find whatever it is you're finding, and ask those questions why. And it's okay to get angry. I know I've had plenty of conversations where I've had a big stern talking to,
Yeah.
Right.
saying why.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I may not always get the answer that I wanted, but I do see it afterwards.
Yeah. When you're not expecting it, something will happen. It's like weird.
It really is crazy.
I think starting Southern Arizona Book Heroes and where I am today and where the nonprofit is today, I think is him talking to me. You know, hey, you may have been angry at me, but I came through and look at where you're at.
I got you.
Know? I mean, I don't know. It's a tough world. Like in all aspects.
Yeah, it really is.
Just trying to find yourself and trying to find something.
Yeah.
And I found my something through Southern Arizona Book Heroes and helping others.
Well, you deserve all the happiness and love. You really are a gem.
Thank you.
And I see you just conquering this world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's so needed. And your story is powerful.
Yeah.
I'm in awe. I think you're a blessing. And I hate that everything that you went through. But man, what you did with it
It's great.
is pretty powerful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes.
You are a treasure.
I mean, and I hope you're so proud of yourself. Truly.
It's hard for me sometimes to be like, you know what? I did this. I did this. Look at everybody that we're helping. Look at everybody we're reaching out. Look at what we're trying to teach and everything like that. And I'm just human like everybody else. Just on a different journey of spreading awareness.
Oh, I don't think you're just human. I don't think you're just human at all.
Superhuman.
I'm a book hero.
Yes.
I have a cape.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
Oh my God, we should have worn the cape.
I know. I think of you as a hero. I think
Awesome.
it's hard to take the compliment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is. And I think it's hard for you to appreciate and realize what you have done. Because what you're doing, it's amazing. I'm blessed to have you on this podcast and blessed to hear your story.
Thank you.
It's
taken a long time
Yeah.
to get here
Yeah.
and to share and to take the control off and take my life back.
Thank you. Thank you for, I love this. Strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless.
I know. Well, where can everybody, we've already said the website, we've said the events. Is there anything that you're really don't need it right now?
Right now, just working on getting the word out there because we are still like really, we're small but mighty.
Yeah.
And so just getting the word out there and just remember
Yeah.
that books save lives.
Books save lives.
I mean, they really do. Yeah.
And just remember who you are and that you are the power of yourself, and that nobody can take that away, child or not.
Yeah.
And be your own hero. Be your own hero.
I love that. And if you're out there and you are a first responder and you are in an area that does not have this, please reach out to Jennifer, and you can find her on all of the platforms,
Yes.
Southern Arizona Book Heroes, because I'm sure she'd love to help you be the hero in your story.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being on here and
Sharing your story.
sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. It truly means a lot, and helping get the word out there.
Of course,
Yeah,
thank you.
I can't wait to see how much more you grow. I have a great feeling. Like, I
know.
think it's fabulous.
It's amazing. Anything you need from us, you let us know.
Yes.
Okay.
You reach out and let us know.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys are following Jen at Southern Book Heroes, because wow, Southern Arizona Book Heroes is out there telling you to be your own hero. But man, do we have a hero on this podcast right now. So thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, and thank you for watching us. Blaire it out.